Welcome to day 15 of the Query Fooding Challenge. 15 days ago, we started this challenge and we've taken it one day at a time. And I'm glad to really get to this point. That means I have 15 more days to go. So today's video is coming a bit late, but I'm glad that I had the time to really look at this and solve the problem. So let's head into the problem directly. For today's problem, we have to select the 10 longest delivery days average for city key, city, and the computed column average delivery days, which is the days between order date key and delivery date key for all completed deliveries. Include ties if applicable. For this challenge, we're using the Y-word importers database. We'll be using the city table, fact order table, and the fact sale table. So let's head over to Power BI. In Power BI, the first step as usual is to connect to the data source. Select the Y-word importers database. You have to select three tables, the city table, the fact order table, and the fact sale table. Click on OK. Click on OK to import the data. For the fact sale table, we need a means to join it with the fact order table because we have the order date key in this table, and for the fact sale table we have the delivery date here as well, and we need a means to calculate the number of days it took to deliver the product or the item that was ordered. So for the fact sale table, we're going to choose the sale key and the delivery date key. One more thing, we want to make sure that the product has been delivered. If the product has been delivered, it means that the delivery date key is not going to be blank. So we just check, and you can also confirm if they are blank values in the delivery date key. How you do that is you can remove empty cells, then go back to the editor and modify this formula such that it's equal to null or is equal to empty string. Click on OK. You realize there are null values in the delivery date. It means that the delivery has not been completed. So we just have to go back and modify this to work the way it was. Not equal to null, and it's not equal to empty string. Now we have orders that have been completed. We need to go to the fact order table and select the columns that are also relevant to the question we are solving. In this fact order table, we're going to be selecting the order key, the city, and the order date key. You can select these three columns and remove other columns. Now we have the order key, the city key, and the order date key. What we can now do is to join these two tables together such that we have delivery date key and order date key in the same table. So select order, fact order, go to merge queries. We're going to be merging this as a new query. Select the order key, then we merge this to fact sale, select the sale key, and we'll prefer an inner join. Then click on OK. After merging the data, we have to expand the fact sale table, and what we really need from that table is just the delivery date key. Now we have the columns we need to solve the problems we want to solve. We need to calculate the total number of days between this period. We did something like this in the previous challenges where we calculate the total number of days. So this is something that is simple and straightforward for us to do. To do that, we go to add column, click on custom column, and we use the duration function for total days. Now we want to get the date between the number of days between the delivery period and the other date. So we subtract these 2 days from each other. Click on OK. Now we have the number of days between these two periods. If you forgot to create a name for this column, you can just modify this custom to number of days. And to make it even better, we can confirm the name that was used in the document, average delivery days. So we just have to modify this. Instead of number of days, we just say delivery days. Delivery days. So we have the number of days it took to deliver each of these order. But remember that our interest is in the average delivery days, not just the number of days. So what we can do here is to group these values. So if we are grouping, that means we group and take the average. So what we do here is to click on transform, go to group by. Then in the group by, we would want to go to advanced, want to group by the city ID, and I see there's no need for advanced. You can also use the basic now, but we can go back. So you use city key. You can remove this step is unnecessary. What we need to do next is to say average delivery days. Now for the operation, we're going to use average. We want to take the average delivery days for each city. That is what we want to get. Then click on OK. Now we have the average delivery days for each city, but the values and I are decimals, right? So we would rather have the values as, let's say, whole numbers. So to do that, you can just right click on this column, not right click on this number and convert this into a whole number. And you see that when you convert this into a whole number, you realize that the values are rounded up depending on what you want. If you don't want the values to be rounded up, this is telling us 8.6 days. This is 8 days. If you round this up, this will become 9 days. If you don't want to round this up, what we can do is to use a different step here. We just do transform, table transform, table transform volumes. So we want to specify the previous step, which is group rows. Then we have to specify the column we want to transform, which is average delivery days. And what do we want to do for each column? We want to use round, the round function, number dot round, and that's it. Click on OK. Realize that the average delivery days, like for the first one, would change from 9. Okay, we have this now. Yeah, so it's still the same thing. It still didn't change. So you can use any of the two options. You can just transform the column and you get the result you want to get. So one more thing is remaining. We need the name of the city. So for us to get the name of the city, we need to merge this table with the dimension city table. Click on merge, city key, and here we have the city key. Then click on OK. After clicking on OK, you expand this such that you have just the city name. Now we have all the cities that we want. We need to confirm that query folding is still working fine. So far, we are good. Query folding is working fine. But we see that we are selecting too many columns here from the city table. So we can go back to the city table and select the columns that we want. We want the city key and the city, then we can remove other columns. If we come back to this step, we realize that the changes we just made needs to be applied. And if we should see the query, you realize that we're no longer selecting a long list of columns. So that's fine. Then finally, we need to sort these values and we need to rearrange this column. If we should just take city and drop city here in the middle and we check, you realize that query folding is still working fine. So we don't have any issues. What we need to do next is to sort these values from the highest to the lowest. Then we sort this in the descending order. After sorting this in a descending order, we need to apply one more step. It says select the 10 longest delivery days, include ties if applicable. So what we can do here is to just select top 10, right? So we just go to home and there's the option to keep rows, keep top rows. If you want to keep the top 10 rows, click on OK. And we have the top 10. Then we have our native query select top 10. So everything here is working fine. Afterwards, what we need to do next is just to rename this to data and uncheck the option to load these tables. With this, we've been able to solve today's challenge. And what we can do next is to just load this into Power BI or or Excel, for example, where you want to use it. Or if you want to copy the query as well, you can just copy the query and use it where you need to use it. So that brings us to the end of today's challenge. Is there something you don't understand? Is there something I missed? You just put it in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Or if I need to create a video on that, I'll also do that as well.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want to watch more videos like this one, subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like the video before you leave.